You're listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with John Hicks.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Retirement Solution Podcast here with John Hicks this week. I'm Jennifer Perry. If you have a question you'd like us to address, reach out to us. We're online at retirementsolutionradio.com. And quite the mini retirement party plan for Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, John. He plans to take off in his own rocket owned by his space company Blue Origin coming up in mid-July. And someone recently paid $28 million in an online auction in order to join him for this very first flight.
That's a little bit of money.
Right.
To pay to sit beside the founder of Amazon. I mean, does he come in a box too? I don't think so. Like, the thing of it is Bezos. Crazos.
Yes.
I call him Crazos. He's crazy most of the time. He's highly liberal, and I understand and respect that. Sometimes you got to be a little out of your mind when you create companies that are worth, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for a guy that started this out of his garage in 94.
Right. But he does plan to step back just a little soon. So he's going to step down to executive chairman instead of CEO in July. So it sounds like this rocket ride is kind of his mini retirement party.
No, let me think about it. Is this what you would like to do with your retirement?
No. Keep me on the ground.
You don't want to be throttled nearing the stars and have someone pay $28 million to sit next to you so that hopefully you make it down to do the next piece of your life?
I mean, I might take the $28 million, but...
Does he get it? Does he get the money?
Oh, I'm sure it's his space company. So in the end, yeah, I think he profits from this. So if he makes it back down to Earth, we'll see.
If he makes it back down. I'm saying, I wish no ill will, but man, you just got to hope that your people did the right thing. I tell you what, every time I go to Burger King, they get my order wrong every time. I hope he didn't hire for Blue Horizon, Blue Origin, whatever it is. Hope he didn't hire the same people that I keep having at Burger King that put my fries upside down and never give me ketchup.
Yep.
I'm just saying, it's hard to hire good people these days,
It
Jeff.
really is.
I hope when they're shooting you up there, you have a real good feeling that you hired the right people. You see, as I think about it, I don't even remember it was Burger King. All I know is that every place I go by, they have a for hiring sign out.
Yep.
Everyone's hiring. It's not even $5 an hour. It's like $18.50 to put fries upside down in my bag and not give me ketchup. And I'm starting to think to myself, this is what our economy's become. Here's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. We need people to go back to work. Now, this show is about people who don't want to work anymore, but we've earned the right to not have to do it.
Yeah.
See, that's the point. So think about that, guy. So Jeff Bezos started off as a small business owner, started his business in 1994 out of his garage, built it to be worth a bazillion, trillion, quazillion dollars, and now he decides his retirement is going to be gallivanting him around space. As we're out here as small business owners, and many of us are, right? We have a small business, or heck, maybe we're a physician, but we have our own practice. Maybe we're an attorney, but we're part of a firm, right? We have to hire people to do these jobs so that we can maybe at one day step out. But the question is, how do we transition to our next phase if we can't sell part of our business for hundreds of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
So, Jennifer, I talk to small business owners every single day, and their question is this: John, how do I find the right staff people? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to hire people left and right to help me at what I'm doing. So I'm in the same ball game as you.
Hard, yeah.
And these are people that are physicians. These are people that are large. These are people that they've had small businesses for 10 times longer than I have. We all have the same problem. We can't find quality and skilled people who, number one, are good at what they do, secondly, want to work for what the wage allows, and thirdly, are willing to stay with us for more than 7 minutes. This is where the government has interfered, in my opinion, way too much. They've paid people to not work. Guys, terrible thing long term. I sound like Charles Barkley.
Oh my gosh,
terrible.
you did just
This is
channel Charles.
terrible that America's become this way. Terrible.
But we
Sorry,
see
Charles
it
Barkley.
every day. I'm wondering, are you seeing more small business owners, though, wanting to make that transition out of retirement?
They can't. No, Jennifer, they cannot. They
just
cannot
can't
do
right
it
now.
because one of two things. Number one, no one's willing to invest in a business right now that they're not sure is going to keep going because the pandemic's not 100% over yet, right? So selling a business is very difficult. Number two, they can't find the people to help them in the ways they need to either, number one, grow, or number two, transition. Those are two tremendous things. Now, here's the point. That doesn't mean that it can't work out. That doesn't mean you can't do it. Here's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. We need an actual game plan for income. You don't have to sell your business for straight cash. What you need is an income stream.
Okay.
Now, the crazy thing about this is I've talked to so many business owners about this recently. If you can't find the right people to do the right things, that's one thing. If you're trying to find a way to transition out of your business, there may be a way to just transition your income stream so that you don't need the business to provide it. Now, Jennifer, this is a very complex concept.
Yeah.
Most places don't even do this. They're like, well, I can sell you some stocks and bonds and mutual funds. Well, that's not going to help you. The question is, how do you get an income derived when interest rates are about as low as humanly possible and the stock market's at all-time highs? How do you just maintain an income? So what we have to do, we have to think outside of this, and we have to figure out what is the next logical phase. Maybe we have 2 or 3 years, Jennifer, before we want to retire. Now, that is a very different context than someone that is going to retire this year.
Right.
Come heck or high water. I am done. They just said, listen, I am done with this job. I don't care if I sell the car wash for a handful of magical beans. I am done. I cannot hire people to wipe these cars down. And at 62 years old, I'm tired of wiping down cars. I actually had a guy tell me this a couple weeks ago, which made me think, oh, crap, maybe I did make a proper career choice. I'm not wiping down cars in my 60s and still can't sell my business that probably should be worth millions of dollars. I get this. And the amazing thing is that when you're done, you're done. I get that. This all requires, Jennifer, one simple thing: a plan.
Oh, the
It's a four-letter word. I brought up a 4-letter word on Father's Day that isn't beer. I know. I should be beaten or flogged. But it's true. It requires a plan. Now, here's why this matters. If you're playing golf with your buddies, like any of us ever have the chance to do, right? But if you have a chance to do that and you tell them these things, they're like, dude, I don't know what you're going to do. I mean, I work for a cushy job inside of a cubicle, and they're just going to pay me to never come back again. They call it severance. I just call it, hey, I don't have to go back again. I don't know. Maybe you need to just find one of those fiduciary advisors, right? But maybe you ought to find one of those guys who can actually work you through this, because your business is an asset. What you don't want to do is to depreciate that asset by selling it at the wrong time.
Right.
This may be a very wrong time, but what you have to understand is there's a game plan to get around that, and or there's a financing plan around that, and or, believe it or not, there's potentially an insurance plan around that. The insurance is simply so that if things go wrong, your family's paid out if you can't be. And that can sometimes save family businesses. So when we think about that, no matter what goes on in your life, what you need, Jeff Bezos' retirement is to maybe never come down from space. I don't know if I disagree with that. I think that might be a good thing for all of us.
Yes.
But having said that, what do we do as small business owners or those in enterprise if we want to sell something that is non-saleable at the moment or not sellable for what we want it to be? So if we own any kind of business, understand we have to have a plan for that. If you don't have one, get it yesterday.
At least get it now, if nothing else. And it's not just for business owners, John. There's so many frustrations from just normal employees right now because a lot of people are picking up the slack because of this labor shortage. There's not enough people to work. I know a lot of my friends are working the equivalent of 2 or 3 positions right now, wherever they're working. So I'm sure a lot of people are ready to hang it up.
Darn straight. And the whole point is, what if you don't get the buyout, right? So the thing that's so great about owning a business is that one day you hope you can sell it. But what if you just put in all that time for all those years and that's not your asset to sell?
Yeah.
How do you make that income work, especially if you're just sick of it and or you get let go or you get downsized? Or no, they don't call it that anymore.
Oh, no.
That's not politically correct. They call it what? Right-sized?
Right-sized, yes.
Right. You got right-sized. See how pathetic that sounds? Anyway, but if that happens, we have to have a plan for that as well. Income is the only outcome we need to be retired. That's it, period. Income is the outcome if we want to actually retire. If we want to work the rest of our lives, you don't even have to care about all that stuff. You just keep working until you peel over, right?
Yeah.
But most of us, at least at one point in time, say, I've kind of put in my fair share of time, John. The biggest one I hear recently, Jennifer, I'm sick of working from my house and expect to work 24 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
This is the biggest one I've heard this past year. And obviously, because it just happened to us, right? People say, I'm not necessarily working harder, but I'm working longer. I'm working more hours, and I'm kind of sick of that. I'm kind of sick of every single minute someone's expecting me to respond to some email because they know I'm not at the office. They know I'm at home, and that interrupts my life. And I'm 59. I'm 62. I'm 64. I'm 68. I shouldn't have to do that now. I kind of don't want to. Guys, you just need a plan. How are you going to replace your income? If you replace your income, you don't ever have to answer an email again. Ooh, let me hold on. Let me say that again. And let me say it again. If you can replace your income correctly, you will never have to answer a weekend email again.
Thanks for listening. Want more from John? Find us online at retirementsolutionradio.com.
The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or any specific security. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult your financial advisor prior to investing. Any past performance discussed during this program is no guarantee of future results. J. Hagan Capital is a registered investment advisor. To find out if John Hicks is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal advice. Annuity guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products and annuities offered through John Hicks. Kentucky Insurance License Number 998827.